Hello, everybody. Welcome to today's lesson. Let's go ahead and go over today's lesson objective. So today we will plot shapes on the coordinate plane. All right, let's go ahead and look over our success criteria. So our first one is I can plot and identify points on the coordinate plane. And then the next one is I can use points to create shapes on the coordinate plane. So we have two for today. Okay, so let's go over what is the coordinate plane. So the coordinate plane is a flat space with an x-axis and a y-axis that can be used to graph numerical relationships. So this is the coordinate plane. So our x-axis goes across, right? And our y-axis goes up and down. And we are actually going to start at where y and x are at 0. So this is the origin, which is 0, 0. That's when x equals 0 and y equals 0. All right. Now, let's talk about what is a point. So a point is an exact location, and it's usually represented by a small filled-in circle. So we see this a lot when we're talking about the coordinate plane. We'll see a point which will have an exact location, and in this case, the point is 3, 5. So the x is 3, and the y is 5. So it's telling us the exact location of point 3, 5. And we represent points on the coordinate plane with something called an ordered pair. So an ordered pair is two numbers written in a specific order within parentheses, and it's used to show the point's x coordinate and y coordinate on a graph. So over here we have our ordered pair of 3, 4. So that's saying our x coordinate is 3 and our y coordinate is 4. All right, let's go ahead and get into today's activity. So we have a word problem here. So the word problem says that Michaela decided to move a small square table from her dining room into her living room. 3 of the corners of the table are at 17.2, 19.2, and 19.4. Using a marker, create and label the square table on the blueprint. What are the coordinates of the fourth corner? So we have 3 coordinates of our table, and we know that the table is a square. So a square is going to have 4 equal length sides, and it's going to have 4 90-degree angles. Okay, so it's going to look something like this. So we have to go ahead and look at each of our points, and let's go ahead and plot them. So over here, I have a coordinate plane. I have the first quadrant of my coordinate plane. So I have my 3 points. I got to figure out what the fourth point is. So remember, I'm actually going to go ahead and write our points up here. So our first point is 17, 2. Our second point is 19, 2. And our third point is 19, 4. And I have no idea what my fourth point is. Okay, so let's go ahead and plot our ordered pairs, our points. So our first point is at 17, 2, which means that's going to have an x of 17, a y of 2. So our x-axis is down here at the bottom, and our y-axis is going up and down. Right? So I got to find 17 on my x-axis. So if I look down on my x-axis, okay, I'm going over, and there is my 17. My y-axis is 2. So I'm going to go ahead and go start from 17 and then go up 1, 2, and draw a point right there. And let's go all the way over just to make sure we're at 2. Yes, we are. So that is our first point. Okay, now we got to go ahead and I'm going to do a check right there. We have to do our second point, which is at 19, 2. So let's look at our x-axis and go all the way to 19, which is right here. And then I have to go up 2. So I'm going to go ahead and go 1, 2. There is my second point, right? Because that is at 2. My y is at 2. All right, now my fourth point is at 19, 4. So let's go ahead and find 19 on my x-axis. So I'm going to go all the way over to 19. And then I got to go up to 4. So there's 1, there's 2, there's 3, there's 4. I'm going to draw a point right there. Let's make sure that's at 4 on our y-axis. Yes, it is. Okay, so we have our 3 points that we know. Now, I know that this is a square table, so it's gonna have equal length, and it's gonna make like 4 right-degree angles, 90-degree angles. So I can see I have my 3 points here. Now, to make a square, I've got to have a point somewhere over here, right? So I know that all of my lengths have to be the same length. So if I look at this side, it goes over 1, 2 squares, right? All of my points are 1, 2 squares, 1, 2 squares. So I'm going to go over 2 spaces. 2 squares, and it looks like my point's going to be over here in order to make a perfect square. I'm going to go ahead and connect my lines together to make sure that that it looks like it's a square. So if I go ahead and connect this point to this point, and this point to this point, this point to this point, and this point to this point, and it does look like we have a square. So my fourth point is going to be this point right over here, and that is going to be, if I go down to my x, that is 17, and then I got to go all the way over to my y, that is 4. So my fourth point is 17, 4. So to answer this question, what is the coordinates of the fourth corner? It's going to be 17, 4. So we just went ahead and plotted the points, the vertices of a square on our coordinate plane. All right, so let's go over our lesson objective. So our lesson objective for today we plotted shapes on the coordinate plane. All right, I hope this is helpful. If you need a little more practice, make sure to do your should do, and I'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.